8 footballers who hate Neymar. Neymar has a few haters out there who don't like him too much, but some players really hate Neymar. From the player who hates him more than anyone to the former teammate who blames Neymar for his exit, here are 8 players who hate Neymar. Let's start with one of Neymar's current teammates, Kylian Mbappe. Mbappe has had a strange relationship with Neymar, a kind of love-hate. But Mbappe had a problem with how famous Neymar was with PSG fans, and also the fact that Neymar was the designated penalty taker. So, in the first game since signing his contract, Mbappe told the new manager, Christopher Galtier, that he was going to be the penalty taker from now on. This caused tension with Neymar. Sure enough, PSG got a penalty, Mbappe took it but missed. In that same game, they got another penalty in which Neymar scored, so obviously Galtier must have put Neymar back on penalties, right? Well, no. Mbappe has the power at PSG and was kept as their main man from the penalty spot. The relationship between Mbappe and Neymar has been challenging, with rumours suggesting that Mbappe has attempted to influence Neymar's departure from the club. Paris Saint-Germain, PSG, has had to manage the egos of these two prominent players. Speaking of penalty-related issues, let's turn our attention to a former PSG teammate of Neymar, Edinson Cavani. When Neymar joined PSG, Edinson Cavani was a prolific goalscorer and a beloved figure among fans. The Uruguayan striker also served as the team's primary penalty taker. On the other hand, Neymar was a superstar of a different calibre, with an extensive brand image. Even a player of Cavani's calibre didn't have the star treatment Neymar received upon his arrival. Neymar was instantly treated like royalty, and this meant that Cavani was removed from penalty-taking duties in favour of Neymar. To complicate matters, Neymar's best friend, Dani Alves, also joined the club, and their close friendship and training sessions further irked Cavani. Their on-pitch arguments over penalty kicks were a public spectacle, and the tension persisted until Cavani eventually left PSG to join Manchester United. Cavani felt he had no choice but to leave, as he realised his position at the club was now subordinate to Neymar's. Their rivalry even spilled over into international matches when they faced each other as rivals during games between Uruguay and Brazil, contributing to heightened tensions between South American footballing nations. Alvaro Gonzalez. Matches between PSG and Marseille, one of PSG's main rivals in Ligue 1, were always intense, with tempers often flaring. During one such match, Neymar and Alvaro Gonzalez engaged in constant bickering. Neymar's provocations and Gonzalez's insults escalated, with Neymar accusing Gonzalez of racist remarks, which Gonzalez denied. This led to an on-field brawl between the two teams. Their enmity spilled over to a public Twitter feud, where Gonzalez accused Neymar of being a cheater and a liar, posting a picture of himself holding Neymar during a game with a caption that implied Neymar was trash. Nelson Semedo. Neymar has faced criticism not only from opponents but also from teammates. Expectations were high when right-back Nelson Semedo joined Barcelona for a significant sum. Neymar, however, seemed to have a lack of respect for his new teammate. Semedo arrived eager to impress, following in the footsteps of legends like Dani Alves and playing alongside icons like Messi. So, when Neymar confidently showcased his ball handling skills, dancing down the pitch, Semedo saw an opportunity to challenge him. Semedo executed a strong tackle, bringing Neymar to the ground. This action left Neymar furious, and he angrily confronted Semedo. Barcelona's players had to intervene to separate Neymar from the newcomer. Most of the team felt disappointed by Neymar's behaviour and sided with Semedo. Semedo said, "For me, it didn't matter much. I had the support of my teammates and friends, especially considering I had just arrived." When one of the team's most influential players got into a confrontation with me, Neymar's lack of interest in making a good impression on Semedo was apparent. It's possible he already anticipated leaving the club, as a week later, Neymar indeed moved to PSG. This incident highlights a significant aspect that Neymar's critics often focus on. Thiago Dalot. Next, in a PSG match against Lyon, Neymar displayed his penchant for taunting opponents on the field. It was the final minute of the game when Dalot delivered a hard tackle on Neymar, leaving Neymar boiling in fury. Neymar didn't react so elegantly and ended up pushing Dalot, who responded with insults aimed directly at Neymar. Thiago, another player, was incensed and eager to confront Neymar. This incident created tensions between the two sides, and the referees struggled to maintain control. Eventually, both Neymar and Thiago were shown red cards. The fighting didn't end on the field. It continued in the tunnel after the game. Thiago was particularly angered when Neymar threw tape at him. In Thiago's words, Neymar said things to him that he chose to ignore, but they were evidently not pleasant. He noted that such incidents are a part of the game, but suggested that Neymar could benefit from showing more respect towards the rest of his fellow players. Thiago also criticised the media's role, stating that they often favour the more media-friendly players, providing them with protection. In Thiago's view, Neymar may have a tendency to look down on some players, and he made it clear that he wasn't willing to tolerate such behaviour. Juan Camilo Zuniga. In the 2014 World Cup, Brazil had high expectations of winning the tournament, and their hopes were largely pinned on the young and talented striker Neymar. During a match against Colombia, known for their aggressive playing style, Neymar showcased his skills brilliantly. He seemed untouchable, effortlessly gliding past defenders, executing slick moves, and posing a constant threat. However, Neymar's performance was getting under the skin of the Colombian players, especially Juan Camilo Zuniga. Zuniga, in particular, found it challenging to catch up with Neymar. Eventually, he did manage to reach Neymar with a reckless high knee to Neymar's back, resulting in a devastating injury that ended Neymar's World Cup journey. It's worth noting that many of Brazil's rivals held a degree of animosity toward Neymar for his flashy skills and perceived diving, leading them to adopt a rough style of play. Zuniga's tackle was so brutal that Neymar was informed he was fortunate the impact wasn't a few inches lower, as it could have had even more severe consequences, potentially affecting his ability to walk again. The rivalry between Colombia and Brazil continued into the Copa America the following year. In that game, Neymar endured a staggering 19 fouls against him, many involving clashes with Zuniga. Zuniga even caused Neymar to suffer a bloody mouth during one such tussle. Neymar's frustration with being targeted aggressively led him to react, and he was eventually sent off. It was evident that Zuniga had a personal vendetta against Neymar and was determined to disrupt him on the pitch. Gabi. Let's consider the Copa del Rey Classic match between Atletico Madrid and Barcelona as an example. These two teams are known for their aggressive style of play when facing each other, where the focus isn't always on flashy moves and mocking the opposition with tricks. However, Neymar seemed to disregard this unwritten rule. Throughout the game, Neymar had been taunting Atletico players, even going so far as to kiss Juan Fran, which infuriated the entire Atletico team. Gabi, in particular, was greatly angered by Neymar's attitude and disrespectful behaviour. The match saw angry confrontations between players from both teams. Gabi's frustration stemmed from Neymar's lack of respect for Atletico's players and his persistent attempts to gain an advantage by diving and trying to win free kicks and penalties. To make matters worse, Barcelona emerged as victors. While being a bad loser is never a good look, in football, one can also be a bad winner by not displaying grace in victory. Neymar could benefit from learning from the great players around him, such as Xavi and Iniesta, who have a different approach to the game. Neymar's playing style, especially when he's on the winning side, often raises eyebrows, Gabi said in a post-match interview. Enzo Fernandez. Speaking of winning, let's consider the perspective of an Argentine midfielder and World Cup winner, Enzo Fernandez. At the time of the incident, Enzo was still playing for Benfica when he faced Neymar in a Champions League match. Neymar, known for his bag of tricks, was having numerous confrontations with players during the game. During this particular match, Neymar believed that Fernandez had called him an idiot. At the end of the game, when it was time for jersey swapping, Neymar refused to exchange shirts with Enzo. Enzo tried to plead his innocence, and the two players were seen engaged in a heated discussion after the match, which reportedly continued in the tunnel. Neymar appeared to show no respect in this situation. There was a possibility that these two players might meet again during the World Cup, representing Brazil and Argentina respectively. However, Brazil was eliminated from the tournament, while Enzo had the last laugh by winning the World Cup and being named the best young player in the competition. He also secured a $100 million move to Chelsea, which might not have made Neymar too envious. The situation could become complicated because Chelsea has expressed interest in Neymar, and their owner, Todd Boehly, who is known for spending large sums of money on transfers. Therefore, there's a chance that Neymar and Enzo might become teammates in the future, which could potentially lead to awkward dynamics. Hate is a strong word for anyone or anything, let alone a sport that is used as a coping mechanism for anger. But football also causes rivalries as much as it brings friends together, and sometimes these rivalries aren't as harmless as they should have been. What do you think about all these players who hate Neymar? Do you think their reason is plausible? Tell us your thoughts in the comments below.